This VATAS training video is going to discuss building schedules for Title 38 and designated Title 38 employees. It's important to know that when building a schedule for a Title 38 or designated Title 38 employee, that the hours will be counted on the day the tour commences or begins. That is different than if you're building a schedule for a hybrid or a healthcare worker. If you are building a schedule for a hybrid or healthcare worker, please view the videos for those specific employee types. We are currently logged into VATAS as a timekeeper, and we are at the timekeeper main menu. We will select either Employee Schedules List View or Employee Schedules Grid View, whichever link you decide to use to build your schedules, but for this example, we will select List View. It defaults to the current pay period showing approved schedules. Remember, all of the employees will be listed by last name, comma, first name. The employee that we are looking for in our training database has the last name full-time, first name RN. I find the employee's name and I select it by clicking the name. I am now in the schedule assignments and we will be building a permanent schedule. And this is especially important if you are watching this video and your station is launching or going live into VATAS. And the reason this is so important is because all employees must have a permanent schedule. Everything in VATAS only needs to be clicked one time. If it takes a moment for your schedule field to populate, please just give it time. Now, naming the schedules. As you already know, naming the schedules is up to you all as timekeepers. One thing that we recommend is that you need to be consistent with whichever naming convention you decide to use. A recommendation would be to use the employee's last name and the date that schedule is going to begin, and that's what I'll do for this example. The employee's last name is full-time, so I'll type their last name, and the date the schedule is going to begin, I'll just type 8/20/17. The weeks, just a quick reminder, it is defaulted to 2 and you will never change it from 2, and the start date is automatically defaulted to the first day of the current pay period. You will never put an end date on a permanent schedule. As we scroll down a bit, we have week 1 and week 2. For this example, we were going to say that the employee works Tuesday through Saturday, 11:30 p.m. until 8 a.m. The reason we want to use this example is to show that the hours, once again, will be counted on the day the tour commences or begins. So in week 1, we will select the day box, and we will then uncheck Sunday and Monday, and we will do the same thing in week 2. Select the day box, and then unselect Sunday and Monday. We will scroll down a bit, and we will click on the orange Insert Tour button. This is important to have already looked the tours of duty up that you will be using to build your schedules. I've already looked up and I know that the tour 0355 is the tour that I specifically need for this example. The tour comes up 11:30 p.m. to 8 a.m. I click it, turn it dark blue, and then I press OK. Now, what will be important to point out once these populate are the week 1 and week 2 totals. As you can see, the tour is 11:30 p.m. until 8 a.m. And on that second Saturday of each of week 2, the tour begins at 11:30, and even though 7.5 hours roll into the next pay period, the hours count on the day in which the tour begins. And again, this is extremely important, and you see that right here, the 8 hours, the total, it is staying in this pay period. The hours on Saturday of week 1 are also staying in week 1. That is why each week has a total of 40 hours. Another important thing to point out is if your employee teleworks on any day, you must indicate it in the telework code dropdown. You can select either TW, telework regular, TS, telework ad hoc situational, recess time, TM, telework medical. You would most likely not be selecting ad hoc situational for a permanent schedule. At the bottom, we will click Submit We will receive the blue banner of success telling us that we have successfully submitted the work schedule. It is another very important note that you want to make is that you always use the full tours of duty in VATAS. Do not use two separate tours that stop at midnight and then begin again after midnight. So if we were to have built this schedule using 11:30 p.m. until midnight and then another tour of duty from midnight until 8 a.m., that would not be the correct way to have built this schedule. We correctly picked the tour that began at 11:30 p.m. and ran all the way through until 8 a.m. This is a crossover schedule. This schedule has not only hours that cross over midnight, but the schedule actually crosses into the next pay period. That means we need to look at our AWS code. The AWS code currently for this schedule says it is a 6, and that is correct. I know that a lot of timekeepers' instincts may be to indicate that this is a AWS code of 0 because it is 5 days a week, 8 hours per day, 40 hours per week, and you are exactly right in that mindset. However, any schedule that has crossover tours that go across midnight, they automatically have an AWS code of 6. Therefore, this AWS code is correct. Just a quick reminder, if the AWS code needed to be changed, at the bottom, after we had already submitted our schedule, we could click on the employee timesheet profile link, which would then take us to the employee's timesheet profile where you could change their AWS code. Thank you for viewing this VATAS timekeeper training video.